Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a Barry Moore coming live to you from the Capitol Rotunda in Washington, D.C. And, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about Biden's first 12 months in office. January the 20th, he was sworn in, and it's been almost a little over a year now. And so I just, he gave a press conference yesterday, but we have a saying and on the campaign trail, even when we're running and in our official capacity, we kind of have a running joke because we'll be driving late at night across the district sometime, and I would look at my district director or whoever was driving and say, we're living the dream, right? And so, and serving in Congress is a dream, but I mentioned it to my teenage son, and he said, yeah, Dad, one nightmare at a time. We're living the dream one nightmare at a time. I said, what do you mean? He said, all the crises that we've had to manage in our first year in office has been quite astonishing, really, when you think about it. It started with a border crisis. And then from there, we moved to an inflationary crisis where we were printing money up here and cutting the value of your spending dollars in the district. In other words, every time we print a dollar up here, we devalue your dollar in the district. And so we went from there to an energy crisis, and now we're short. There's empty shelves everywhere you look. So now we have just a supply chain crisis, if you will. And, President Biden has had probably one of the most dismal first 12 months in office of any president in my lifetime, certainly probably in history. I think his approval rate is kind of indicate what the American people are seeing. And he had the nerve yesterday to blame it on the Republicans and ask us what we stood for. We stand for the American people, Mr. President. And not only that, how is it that it's the Republicans' fault when you control, the Democrats control not only the Senate, but they have a tyrannical speaker in Nancy Pelosi and a president who does not listen to the American people and double down on failed policies that we're seeing all across the country, whether it be in California and New York, where we saw the mandates and the vaccine mandates come in and be pushed on people. And people are leaving those states by droves and moving to the free red states in this nation. And so that's an indication of the American people waking up. The polling numbers, basically, if you will, the mass exodus from these blue tyranny-controlled cities and states across the country. And so, what do the Republicans stand for? Mr. President had the nerve to say, President Biden, I should say, had the nerve to say yesterday, well, what do Republicans stand for? Well, I'll tell you what we stand for. We stand for liberty. Our job is to protect your liberty. That's my job in Washington, D.C. It's not to run your life. It's to limit government in that respect and allow you to live free and make your own choices. And so we stand for life, Mr. President. We believe in the sanctity of life. We stand for free markets. Capitalism is not the perfect system, but it's the best system if you look around the globe to lift people out of poverty. That's the sort of things we stand for. We stand for the Second Amendment, which protects all other amendments. Your right to bear arms, defend your family, and we certainly stand for funding the police. As the Democrats allowed 1.8 million or so people pour across our southern border, most of them were mules for drugs. They were hauling drugs in backpacks across the southern border. They're now coming to your cities. Simultaneously, they defunding police in these blue cities. We're seeing a crime spike across the country like any of us could not have seen that coming. How did you not see that coming? You got people coming in this country. We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know who they are. They're not COVID tested. They're bringing drugs and whatever else across our southern border. Then we're shipping them to cities courtesy of the American taxpayer. And then, oh, by the way, we're going to defund the police that protect the American people. So this is the blue policy in a lot of blue cities. You can't own a gun, and oh, by the way, we're going to defund the police. And then we're going to ship drugs and illegals into your district and into your hometowns and into your schools and into your systems. And ultimately, they're going to hurt the American people. We saw this coming. We yelled from the rooftops, shut down the border. That was a crisis. We're yelling from the rooftops, we've got to stop this runaway spending. We've got to free the economy. If you want to see the economy grow, let people go back to work. From day one, I said, let people work tax-free. Don't send checks to mailboxes. We now have a labor market crisis. Things that we see coming with common sense approach to government is non-existent up here. Mr. President, we stand for the American people. The question is, who do you stand for? Thank you.